Okay, this video is going to cover some basic troubleshooting of the Fidelio HI system for the hearing and visually impaired, and the Captiview system for closed captioning for the deaf. The audio is channeled through this unit for the Fidelio. Those are the audio receivers for HI-VI. It's going to come from the screen server. The audio comes out and into this side over here. That's this plug, so we want to make sure that's plugged in good and tight. And then it comes out through this side, which in our setup on this screen, we want to make sure that adapter is plugged in tight, and then there is a network cable, an RJ45 network cable that plugs in to that, which then goes over to the CP750 sound processor. The audio is being intercepted here in the middle on the way to the sound processor. So keep that in mind if you have an issue where you've lost sound altogether. It could actually be your HI-VI system that has caused that to happen. So it's going to peel off channels 7 and 8. It's going to pass the rest through here. 7 and 8 are going to come over to this connector, and that plugs in over here to the AccessLink. And then it is transmitted through this antenna to the receivers in the auditorium. It's powered on this side of the unit through the USB right here, and that just goes to a power plug where it plugs into the power. Now, this unit, it's important to keep in mind, is two completely separate pieces. If we were to open this box up, you're going to see a circuit board mounted here and a totally separate circuit board mounted here. This one is for the HI-VI system, the Fidelio. This side is for the Captiview system, closed captioning. So the power is separate as well. So for closed captioning, we need to make sure that this power cord is plugged in securely. This is not USB. This is on a threaded connector here that will unplug like that. Plug it back in. Thread that on to make sure it stays plugged in good and tight. The other thing about the Captiview is that this needs to be plugged in. This is the transmitter unit that will take the data and transmit it to the closed captioning units. And then your Ethernet cable is how it connects to the server to receive the text, and that is over on this side. Make sure that's plugged in and that the lights are blinking. So, lights for this unit, you should see Ethernet on this side lit up. You should see the power lit up right here, and then this shows that we're receiving a signal through the AES cable. On this side, for the Captiview, you just see lights here on the USB stick. We do have a power switch right here. We can turn that off, keeping in mind, again, that this is just for the Captiview side. If you look over here, we still have power. If we don't have a power switch on that side, that would just be, you need to cycle power to that. It's just a matter of unplugging the power. So that's how the system works. If you're having issues with the Captiview, double check your Ethernet over here, make sure that we do have lights on, which we do not. Probably going to take a minute because we just barely turned the power back on, but something you can do is turn the power off here, give it about 10 seconds, turn the power back on. You should see this start to blink and show us signs of life. Come back over here, And sure enough, we have lights on our Ethernet yet again. So it just takes a minute for this to get booted up. For the Fidelio troubleshooting, you can unplug it here, double check that this connection is secure, this connection is secure, and that these connections are secure. One sure way to know that these are secure is that if you have sound through the speakers, then you know that these are secure because they pass through to the cinema processor. We'll go ahead and plug this USB cable back in now. See those lights flashing as it's getting loaded up. That should take care of any issues. One thing to keep in mind when troubleshooting these systems is that it is entirely possible that the content that you're playing is simply not encoded for closed captioning. Trailers are often not encoded with closed captioning. Alternative content. Keep in mind that the only thing that's going to come through the closed captioning or through the hearing impaired is what's playing from the cinema server. If you're playing alternative content through a DVR, a Blu-ray player, any other type of player that is not playing content from the cinema server, or at least not routing it through the cinema server, then it's not going to come through any of these systems and it will not work. So keep that in mind. Other than that, you're still having trouble with the system, you'll want to cycle power to the devices themselves, reset up the closed captioning device, double check your settings on your HI/VI device. And hopefully, once you've gone through those steps, everything will be working as expected.